This is the Almost Daily Zencast. Hello, and Namaste. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I am your humble host, the incorrigible Mr. Zeppo. Let's get started. There is one central tenet to my entire thesis that I think people have a difficult time identifying, so I'd like to put it as simply as possible. I have never once said that we need to abolish our warriors, and I make bunny ear quotes, because I do not support war. That confuses people. I do not support war, and I am not supportive of fighting wars in order to achieve political goals. But I have never said that we should not defend ourselves. I have never said that we should, quote, give up the fight, end quote. What I have been trying to point out is that we are only thinking in terms of, quote, warriors, period. And in ancient, traditional, esoteric, mystical thinking, a good defense has two components. You have the warriors that engage with the enemy who sends warriors, right? And these warriors must fight, and we must defend ourselves. But the purpose of the warriors is not to vanquish and decapitate everyone on the other team. That only begets more violence down the road. The point and purpose and objective and goal of the warriors should be to engage in the defense of the second component of this, quote, war that we could be winning, which is the healers. This is the neglected, forgotten, dare I say, we've been brainwashed to ignore this second component. The healers must be at the center of the, quote, spiritual army. Whatever kind of, when I say quote something, I mean that it's just the closest term that helps, but is not totally accurate. I've said before, this is not really a war that we're fighting, but I digress. We must have the warriors on the front lines so that the healers at the center of everything can do the difficult, challenging, and very important work of healing everyone. Not just our team. I'm not talking about medevac. I'm not talking about, magicians that keep the warriors in good shape so that they can keep fighting. That would be a perpetuation of the limited thinking of perpetual warfare. The healer's work is to heal everyone in the species. By healing the whole species, we naturally eliminate the cause of the conflict to begin with. So I've never meant to disparage warriors. What I have said in many ways is that we should not be blinded into believing, we should not be manipulated into accepting that the only tool in the bucket is war. And that our only option, if we want to do something about what's wrong with the world, is to be a warrior. And that the only way that we can do that is in the literal physical sense of blowing each other's brains out. That, my friends, is ego trap. What I've been trying to point out is that we must also remember, include, reincorporate, reconnect to, and actively start utilizing the tools of healing at the center of our effort in this massive conflict. Through healing, we resolve the trauma on all sides that generates and perpetuates the conflict. Conflict is never solved through the literal decapitation of all those involved in the conflict, because that just perpetuates and carries forward generational trauma that maintains the need, the artificial ego trap need and urgency of engaging in conflict. Now, I'm not saying there aren't any healers. There are plenty of healers around. What I'm saying is the next level we've got to get to is to be openly, publicly, and powerfully a part of the discussion, a part of the argument, openly, publicly acknowledged as an important aspect of the process. Healing is marginalized and kicked to the curb in our society today. And if we want to change the world and solve the root of the conflict, healing must be a powerful, publicly understood, openly practiced aspect of everything. Om Shanti Metta Shanti Om Namaste. Thank you as always, my friends, for tuning in and considering the mad, crazy words that fall out of my mouth. May peace, love, and grooviness blossom in your heart, whether you're a warrior or a healer or someone who does not know what they should be doing. Because soon enough, your calling will come. And that is what I've got to say about that. As always, thank you kindly for listening. This has been the Almost Daily Zencast with your humble host, the incorrigible Mr. Zappa. Until next time, may peace, love, and grooviness blossom in your heart.